Inferno went the way of Valiance, but now it's on Nuke. Can they complete the 2-0 and complete the day of 2-0s? Or will it be the Brazilians to bounce back and set us up for map 3 in this series? Will it be local dominance or European conquest? That's a question as we move into map 2 in this series.
I think this is where it really, really gets tough. Like they had a decent start at least to Inferno, and I think they're going to need that once again. I think a CT start is almost necessary. Knife rounds on most maps don't really play much of a part at all, but I think in this map it kind of has to. Like they need to do something with that. The problem is this is a map that they're not particularly good at even within their local scene. Like they play it a fair bit, but they haven't got many victories on it. They've lost to some teams that Valiant should easily be able to beat. Yeah. And then it's sort of one of those maps that Valiant actually quite likes playing. So it's almost like the worst of both worlds. I suppose that's how picks and bans really works. You get a map that you like and one that your opponent chooses. But the fact is on Inferno, they weren't particularly convincing, especially when it came to their T-side strats, which is quite worrying because Inferno is tough to break down. If you can't break down Inferno, I don't know how you're going to do it on Nuke.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one, but we need to see the remaining stars, Otto ND, the one that I personally would like to see step up a little bit more to deliver kind of a performance that will make sure of his level going into the playoffs of this tournament. Yep. We still need to see him. We've seen Esperanto, we saw Hunter now in that second half really go off. Nexa played extremely well also. So I'm kind of left with Otto ND to step it up. I don't expect Letny to deliver like 20, 30 bombs in every single map, of course, since that's not his role. But Otto could do a bit more, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think this is also a map that sets him up much better to do so as well. Yes. Like the CT side of Inferno, or Inferno, Nuke even, is one of those maps where an AWP can really dominate the outside, whether you play it up on the sort of the rafters area or whether you're sort of outside just in the HUD itself. It really can just work for you, or in the garage, sorry. But the fact is, he hasn't been that sort of dominant force. He hasn't been the man sort of like taking control of the round. So obviously he's within a team that he's not going to be the star the majority of the time. They've got plenty of players who can take that mantle, take that role away. It's the same way that Nexa normally isn't considered a star within this team, when in reality he is. He's fantastic. But the thing is, even just with like certain positions we've seen Otto in so far in this tournament, you've gone, okay, you're playing Mirage, you're the mid AWPer, you're not getting many kills. Oh, you're playing on Inferno, you're on that CT side, you're missing a few shots which you should be hitting. It's worrying because, sure, against W7M, a team that we don't expect a huge amount from in this tournament, that's fine. Like, you'll get away with it. Versus Avangard tomorrow, if your counter AWP to Jame is not playing well, you're just going to get absolutely ruined. KNG got absolutely ruined, and he was fantastic throughout this tournament.
Time to go into the map as we load into Nuke, Nade, and Kit on Otto. Flashbang quickly in towards that A bomb site, but brunt of the force is towards the radio ramp room as Tank is making his way outside. Hunter shuts him down completely, and Nexa now on the ramp.
Yeah, a lot to do, but there's a fair few players there to support him, and they've sort of created a distraction for Nexa to do some damage. The fact is, though, the Brazilians have come back fighting. A lot of damage done by Reelzin and Riots, combining rated RR as they tag them down, and it's now left onto Esperanto. He's normally a king in these pistols rounds. Don't have a kit. I wonder if there's one to be picked up. There's definitely a smoke there.
Otto had a kit, so there's a kit somewhere.
Actually found it.
There it is.
Okay, so he's got the kit. This is a tough
The timing.
Kill to get.
Oh, what?
Okay. I think they're both blindsided there. That's one of those things that normally you check around to see if there's anybody there, but obviously a little bit tunnel visioned in on the clutch and will be caught because of it. The T's take themselves the pistol. Always important, more so on Nuke than any other map. If you win T-side pistol, you get those few rounds. That's pretty much you going, okay, that's our lifeline. And also, now we grind it out.
Also because both teams kind of follow the general statistics in a 60-40 with, of course, advantage for the CT side on this map. So both of them have good CT sides and struggle a bit on the T side to get at least more rounds. So it's very important that the CT team gets something to go, and W7M starting off, but Otto ND doubles up with a scout.
Yeah, this is the performance we wanted to see from him. He hasn't even been able to get the AWP just yet, but he's popping heads with the scout so far, spots another victim. But the fact is, he's already started this off so strong that this is where W7M could go into panic mode. What is this? Otto! He's been saving it all for Nuke. 3 heads gone. 3 hits completed.
He's going to get the 4th one as well.
Oh,
he
no,
might.
he hits the tag,
close.
But he's done enough. That's so much damage already done. 300 odd picked up from him. well, about 370 in fact, which is absolute filth. That's the sort of ADR you want to be picking up, but T's still looking to fight this back. The fact is, even a shot from the Deagle to the chest will be enough to finish them off. This is a horrible position to be in.
They just have to play close angles now and hold together. Because the second that they take long range tools against the AKs, that's going to be where they're at a disadvantage. Hunter picks up one, and that's the bomb as well. Now they all need to rotate into this position and just hold the angle, play around each other. Rafa, they can't allow him to get anything done here. 17 HP, there should be no way, but anything's possible. But Esperanto with a good flank, and that's going to be the round.
Didn't
on the back of Otto.
Didn't even need it. But yeah,
it's muscle memory, you know, for Esperanto. Every kill is a headshot.
If it's not a headshot, it's not a kill.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
100% headshot.
Yeah. Headshot deathmatch, of course, grown up with that. That's where you gotta grind. Pretty sure that's where Esperanto grinds.
Well, force buy successful. We wanted to step up from Otto. That's one hell of a way to start. Get them right back in as well, because that's the sort of pain. You win that pistol round, you're like, okay, we get those buffer rounds, and then they win the force buy, which most teams don't even do that much anymore. Like, you might go for a bit of a force and then save one, I guess, but a lot of teams will be looking for that early round buy. Yeah. Still, though, reels in. He can work the Deagle himself. Has managed to get the opening pick, but a very quick trade back off the back of the MP9 as well, so that's some nice cash put into the bank. And
to be honest, it's really nice to see that Valiance, they kind of have the confidence still in Otto, even though he hasn't delivered his best performances at this tournament yet. Just like, yeah, grab that scout. We believe that you can make the difference for us here. Even though that they're going away from that great buy in the next round if they invest, but they still believe in him. Yeah.
Well, I think that's the most important thing, because we've already seen in the past, especially with the, well, not this roster per se, but with the Imperial roster, where we saw the likes of Crystal just removed because the style didn't fit, or they didn't believe he was good enough for the team, or whatever the reasons came out. So it definitely is important, especially with this roster, that they have faith in the other players, because otherwise somebody will force a move and it may not be the organization. Either way, fast pushing going towards this site. Esperanto's going to kick things off, moving around the pillars, but again, it's reels in. Every single time he's the one to pull off the trades. The fact is, though, Hunter's done enough. He's found himself a double with that MP9 and even upgrades to the AK. He's got Letney to support him. And Rafa, he was meant to be a bit of a flank. He was meant to be the guy coming in from behind, cutting off rotations. Instead, he has to be the hero.
Stays with the Galil. Not spotted yet. Free frag. No! Hunter swivels around and catches the head. And that's going to be a 3-player surviving round as well. So the economy will grow on that Valiance CT side. 2 AKs brought with them as well. Very nice beginning, despite of losing that pistol.
I think the way that Inferno ended is pretty much the worst way it could have ended for W7M, because if Hunter doesn't start playing well, and they have that sort of close game, the Imperial sort of, well, not Imperial, that's the wrong one, Valiance squeeze it out, I don't think he would be anywhere near as confident as he is right now, because he's just absolutely wrecking them, and it seems like everybody's got that sort of wind beneath their sails at the moment, as every single player is taking duels, whether they're risky or not, and they're doing a fantastic job as well.
Letney already 1 kill to his conscience, looking to find more in this, well, pretty much full eco for the Brazilians. A Deagle here and there and a P250, but not much to challenge. Damage done, but not a lot. Nexa forced back, but yeah, the backup rotation has already come in. The orb is ready, so the ramp will not be lost today.
Minute left on the clock. We see in this round that the T's don't really have too much to play with, so
no.
Best case is they somehow sneak a bomb plant or maybe get a bit of damage in terms of kills.
Yeah, just 2 kills and they'll be very happy.
Yeah, I think that's still quite a lot to ask for, though. They got the Deke. Deke may be able to do so. It's reels in as well. He's been a bit of a beast so far for the Brazilians. He's going to be caught on the cross, and, well, Nexa, he's been a beast in his own right. Reels in, the only one left alive. If anybody was going to get a kill in this round, he would be the man, I'd suggest, but maybe not.
Shut down. As Valiance grab round number 4 here. And as we said before, like, this is the second map of the series. Valiance already won Inferno. This is their own map choice, and they're up 4-1. Great start for them. And W7M must feel kind of pressured in this sense that they need to get this or they're out.
Yeah, no, this will be semi-final of Valiance versus Avangard if it continues. And he could have argued that as a final.
Yeah.
If Valiance have been able to just get through in the way that they probably should have done. But a quick outer tank. Otto will be waiting. He's been a beast so far. But he needs to be going for headshots. That's all it is. If he doesn't aim for the face, he doesn't hit the shots. Hunter, however, has rotated him very quickly indeed and already adds another 2 kills to his tally. Esperanto chimes in with 1 more, and Rafa's just waiting like, please walk into my crosshair. It's not going to happen. Hunter with another triple. His multi-frags are off the scale. And there's Otto finally hitting the shot. 5-1 Valiance. That was dominant.
Yeah, we're reaching a point now where I need to see something special from the Brazilians in order to even make an argument of how they're going to come back to the game. I saw some of it in glimmers on Inferno, but so far here in Nuke, apart from the pistol, which again, let's be real, in Counter-Strike the pistol is kind of random compared to a full buy round.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything from the Brazilians so far on this map, and that is worrying.
It's mainly just them going somewhere together. Like just like, okay, let's run in this direction. Let's try and go outside. Okay, let's try and push into A main, and it just has not worked. No matter where they've tried to take the battle, they have lost. And well, once again, Otto's going to be finding the open. And this is another round where it's sort of just try and do some damage, try and get a bomb block sort of round, maybe steal a weapon away. But the fact is, the anti-ecos in this map at least have been some of the cleanest we've seen from Valiant so far. Like, they are all sat around a $7,000, $8,000 marker, which, considering we're only on round 7, is worrying.
Valiance with the chance of adding another win to their already good setup here on Nuke. 10-2 right now, could become 11-2. The only losses they have is against Wendigo, who are playing really, really well lately. And then, if you go a bit back, an overtime loss to Expert from Germany.
That's a bit of a weird one.
Yeah, but overtime online, like, it's hard to say. But they have been solid on Nuke so far, which is not something I would have said when I saw this lineup back in Imperial like 6 months ago, 8 months ago. I wouldn't think of them as a great Nuke team or becoming a great Nuke team, but they have, and big credit for that.
Yeah, it's one of those maps where you more put it down to like heavily tactical teams, and considering they're a team that doesn't even have an in-game leader, that's quite insane. But it is something that I think Dust mentioned on the desk, is that the one thing that really worked for this team is that when they were put together, the roles that they had actually worked very, very well. They all seem to fit into positions quite easily, which is something that you don't normally get when somebody like buys a couple of players into a roster. It doesn't really work. And the fact is, they brought in, what, 3?
Yeah.
Into the roster, and then it just happened. Oh, yeah, look, everybody just seems to work in synergy. So that's quite lucky. And on a map like this, that's really important. Like, if somebody tries to be forced into a new position, it just doesn't happen. Everybody, when they're playing Nuke, they go, I like playing here, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's true. And that's also a big discussion if you go behind the scenes of a professional Counter-Strike team and kind of hear the discussions when the team is newly formed, who plays where. That's actually a really, really big part of how strategies are set up, both T and CT side. I remember myself having struggled with kind of showing everyone a bit of good faith and giving that guy his spot on this map, but then taking a bad one on the other map. That's a big part of building a setup as a team.
I think it's one of the reasons that Zipix is one of the best players in the world, is the fact that he's been forced in so many horrible roles on maps, and he does them so well.
Doesn't matter where he goes.
See, they've taken so much control. This is scary. You're never going to expect Nexa to be this far forward. And look at Otto. He plays the bait. He runs back. Esperanto, in the meantime, just run out. And Nexa then gets that free kill. This has turned into just mania coming out from Valiance. They're pulling out strategies that they wouldn't dare do against other teams. But this is the thing. We spoke about them being able to sort of run over opposition that were just not up to their level. I think they just had to get into the right mind frame. And that's exactly what they're in this series.
This is what we expected, and to be honest, what they expected themselves when they came here. This is the style of gaming, the style of Counter-Strike that we expected from them. And it took a little bit of time, and they didn't get their day off as they wanted. Yeah. But now they're here. This is the Valiance that we wanted to see. And of course, sadly, it has to kind of hit the Brazilians of W7M Gaming and give them a bad time, but that's just how it is sometimes.
I think in a way it came at a good time, because although they're going to want to win the tournament, so they'll have to beat Avangard anyway.
Yeah.
And I think it's good that it happened in the sort of group stage, in the early stage, rather than against Avangard.
Yeah,
because if that's when you're going to be punished, then you're out. Whereas if it's earlier like it was then, in a best of 1, they get this chance to come back and show, okay, we are one of the best teams in this tournament. And W7M are just looking outclassed at this moment in time. Already the first 2 picks come, and now they're going to just try and challenge onto Nexa, expecting to at least get one in this scenario. And then he has Otto to just pounce in with a second. Another flawless round. Look at the money! Is there any player on their team that doesn't have 16k?
Well, 15k, but yeah.
I think that's just buying nades.
Maybe.
I think that's it. Like, look. 600, 900, 1,000, 1,200.
That's insane. They might have all had 16k.
It was very close.
One thing to note is that YJ, at least a round ago, was on 9.1 ADR for 9 rounds.
Eek.
That is a yikes for me. But then again, like, they have an extremely tough task right now. Like, Valiance are playing very well, and it's a tough opposition. But 9.1 ADR is... Oh, well, it just rose to 10.8, but still.
Woo!
Tough times.
Yeah, this is horrible. This is horrible. This is almost coming across as like cyberbullying at this point, as Valiance are just decimating their opponents. Maybe
there's a service you could call?
No, not a valid one. Maybe the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, that's who I always call.
Yeah, when they're scared in their room at night, thinking about how they're getting wrecked by Hunter, they're gonna call the Ghostbuster and they go, "No, sorry, he's alive. He's real."
Yeah, Bill Murray can help with a lot of stuff. Yeah, I think that was a 1 bullet.
Ugh. Ugh.
It's just like adding even more pain to an already like bad day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you lost your job. You also now scrape your knee.
Your wife left you. Everything's gone wrong at once.
Yeah, that's kind of the feeling I'm sitting with right now for the Brazilians. Like,
your wife left?
nothing is working. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay.
I don't have a wife yet, Tom.
Yeah. Soon. TM.
Soon. TM.
Well, they've got to buy.
Yeah, they have to. And to be honest, once again, like I critiqued the... I don't know if it's the coach or the players. I'm not sure how the power structure works in this team. But they didn't utilize their timeouts enough on map 1. They definitely haven't done that on map 2 either.
Yeah, this time I can't give them any like out or any excuses. They have just been getting slaughtered. Like, it hasn't been close. You can see that from the fact that the amount of money that Valiance has alone tells you that it hasn't been close.
And it's not just a thing for W7M Gaming. A lot of teams also in Europe make this mistake of not utilizing these timeouts. It's such a small thing, and yes, it just might only add like 4% in the big picture, but it's like 4% in a Counter-Strike game can mean a lot.
Riots has at least managed to find some sort of opening, but they've all been whittled away. Otto this time, like this game, I think I've seen him miss 1 shot the entire
he's been
thing,
on point.
Which is, that was the thing that we were worried about, like going forward in the tournament. Now that he's here, W7M don't stand a chance. No. Like, they literally don't stand a chance because everybody else was already performing. You add in Otto as well, like, there's no chance.
Yeah.
And we're just witnessing that. They have managed to get the bomb down, though, which is actually quite surprising considering the situation, but it seems like it was almost let. Reels in that
Here we
shot.
go.
Looking for that second round. Nexus down. They don't have a whole lot of utility on the CT side to get back in, but it's more the HP that I'm worried about. So many low players. A couple of flashbangs going to be thrown out to give Letney a bit of a chance, but it actually catches him instead. And now 1 by 1 they fall. Esperanto's got it all to do in the clutch. Looking to try and turn this back. The bomb's ticking quite fast, though. He's either got to run in right now and hope that somebody faces, or he's just got to fall away. And well, he's going to opt to try and save the AWP instead. May even go down to the bomb. No, he's going to get away from it.
Interesting choice when they have so much money in the bank to save the AWP here. Like, it's literally 16k on everyone apart from Hunter.
Oh, why not?
Yeah. Not give,
the rich get richer, that's what they say, Niels.
Yeah, not giving anything away to the opposition. Like, oh, here's another free kill.
This is capitalism at its best. The people with money, they get more money.
Yeah, that's how it works. Life lessons with Risk and Talk.
Yeah, well, we're teaching you economics as we go. Please don't take any of the stuff we say seriously.
That's just a general...
Your life may end up worse.
Rafa and the boys finally utilizing the smoke wall outside to get down towards Secret in a fashion where, with their speed, it actually makes a lot of sense, and Hunter is caught off. Yes, they've tried to do this a couple of times, but with this kind of same pace, that hasn't happened before, and already now, they're in a 5v4 situation, and Nexus not completely ready. Esperanto will bounce back, yes. But this is a good scenario. Letney, once again, 1-for-1 trades. Otto brings it back.
Well, look at YJ, though. That's going to be the more interesting play. If he can sneak in behind Esperanto. The thing is, Esperanto might be a little bit too far gone. That's the only problem. He's heard the door open below. If Realsin can go back up, this could be really spicy. They might go back towards A, like both teams just switch sites that they had control of.
YJ was spotting in towards that main to kind of secure, okay, are they here? If it's clear, then maybe we can move up, because they also have that Molotov for the vent, which is now thrown down, but plenty of utility on Esperanto for this retake.
Ooh, he's got the timing just right as well.
And that's done now.
Yeah, Otto has to try and do this with the AWP in the retake. Definitely not the best case scenario for him. He even hits the floor, but he will also hit the shot. Manages to find the first. YJ just playing a bit of an off angle. I don't think he's going to be expecting him to peek out from this corner, and nice work from him. Finally, he enters the server in a positive way, and now they have their third round. Well, they get a couple more, and this isn't a bad half.
It's a good turnaround from the scenario that we saw just a couple of rounds ago.
At 9-1, and the fashion is more the fashion.
Yeah.
Like the scoreline of 9-1 is not over, but the fashion in which it was done made it look like it.
Realsin has been a real powerhouse for his team so far. Sitting at 10-9, if I'm not mistaken, or 9-10. Well, we still see the likes of Pank still missing his first frag of the map.
He's just gone pure aggressive. Otto's there as well. I think this is them being punished now for the level of aggression that they're going for.
This is too much from Valiance.
Maybe trying to do the same strats they've done before, just like when they were in that sort of free flow mode of just pummeling W7M into the ground.
To be honest, it doesn't even matter if Valiance would turn this round around and win it. I would like to see a timeout being taken from the coach. Like, this is too much. They're too aggressive right now. They're too careless.
Even still, though, if they do pull this back, I feel like they're going to be feeling pretty damn good about themselves. Esperanto, however, will go down. Hunter looks like he may have a fair bit to do, but it's actually going to be the rotation over towards the ramp. So can he catch one out? No, he can't. He's got the information. There's another man coming, and through the smoke, that would turn it into a 2 versus 2. Now, Realsin there could have been a little bit more patient. Hunter, free kill onto the man planting the bomb, and now it's left all onto one, but he tries to take it alone. Doesn't wait for Otto to get into position, and YJ is now going to be left in the clutch again.
Good the last time around, and also against Otto, it's the exact same scenario, but just a few meters lower.
Fallen through the floor. So going to be rounding the corner. Oh, he's actually been caught jumping. But the fact is, he's managed to just bait him. He doesn't know, or he doesn't have a clue where he is. So this is actually perfect because he can be absolutely anywhere. YJ, a little bit lucky. I don't think that was quite what he meant to do.
No.
But either way, it worked perfectly.
Will the pause be called right now for Valiance? I feel like they should call a pause at this moment. No pause called.
It's actually really interesting with the new economy. The way that things work is, in the next round, we could have both teams on max loss bonus. Yeah. Like, that's so weird that that's possible.
Yeah, it's not a common thing. Not something we've seen before.
Ooh. They're starting to lose a lot of these opening battles as well. Hunter caught out, Esperanto up above. He's going to miss the spray. He completely whiffs in that scenario, and now the Brazilians maybe starting to get in their heads a little bit. Throwing this lead away, Letney even shooting at his own teammates. They may even have to consider a save in this scenario. Now, like I said, the money has built up. Their loss bonus has built up. So I'm not completely against them going for this just because of the way that things are going to work in the next round. They'll probably have a bye anyway, and they want the chance to get the full 11 rounds. They probably deserve the 11 rounds the way that they played prior to these last few. The fact is, though, it's very difficult to get back into the side. Does Pank really still not have a single kill on the board? That has got to be weighing on his shoulders at the moment. Next are just waiting. I think they're just holding to try and finish off these final players. Another kill for Pank. Going to make things a bit more costly.
And his first frag.
Oh, yeah. That is true. He's on the board.
Welcome.
But this is an incredible turnaround.
Yeah, this is... Of course, W7M has done well and really played well these last couple of rounds, but I have to also say this is mistakes being made by Valiance. This is carelessness. This is playing too aggressive. This is taking 1v1 duels with no refrag opportunity. This is something that the caliber of players like Hunter, Esperanto, Nexa, they don't do this often. They are, even though they're known as like the POC heroes and the FPL kind of guys, they are still smart players. They have not been smart players these last 3-4 rounds.
Yeah, I think they've tried almost too hard to take the fight to their opponents, and like the sort of like fast win, like almost sort of mentality, like show their dominance onto this team. But it's actually going to be W7M taking a pause. I like this.
All right, last round of the first half. Coming in, full buy from the T side, full buy from the CT side as well, because of, yes, the loss bonus that we talked about Not full nades, we're missing a few Molotovs here and there, but it is so very close to a full buy.
Yeah, it really is just maybe... I think Nex is the only one that really has anything missing, which is one incendiary. It shouldn't play much of a part in the round. We'll see if it does, maybe in a retake.
Oh,
or
okay,
something
look at this.
Gonna go pushing it onto him. Oh, he's already kicked it off, and he's so good with his positioning. That's the problem. He gets 2 for 1 in a position where he really shouldn't have done. Hunter's also managed to close out YJ, and this is looking like more of what we saw previously, with things so far out of control. Nice work from Rafa, though. He's actually going to be able to catch one with his pants down, but Hunter will do the exact same thing to him. And now Riot. A man who's not had the best of games so far, was definitely better in the previous. He left into a 1 versus 3. Now he can already hear the rotation, or may have heard the rotation of left. It doesn't matter because Esperanto is going to pop him from behind. 10-5. I think that's actually quite a kind scoreline for W7M, considering how things were going at 9-1.
It could have been much worse. Let's put it like that. So Hunter and the boys will end up on top in this first half of DE Nuke. We're going to take a short break and then we're going to be back with the second half. See you then.
Got away, her smile was real but cast astray. Of all the things I can't forget, I held her hand and she let go. The world went and made her soul, a picture that burns when you hold it. And now I'm thinking all the things I should have said. And now I'm drinking from the memories laid to rest. Baby, do you want me back? Maybe for one more chance. Baby, don't let it go and fade away. Hold me just one more time. Kiss me like sweet red wine. Let it be more than a memory of the night. Ago, you were the sun when I was cold, the cover of the clouds close behind. I couldn't find the words to say, then I watched you walk.
6 more rounds and Valiance will have made it to the playoffs. The Brazilians from W7M Gaming have a way longer way to go, but it's still possible. First half ended 10-5 in the favor of Valiance, and now we're ready for the second one.
Yeah, looking to get all the teams we expected to be in the playoffs there. Just maybe not in the order we expected them in. See, Valiance not winning their group, but they do have the chance at redemption. Either way, it's going to be that all-important pistol round. A chance for the CT side to get off to a strong start. Riot's dancing with death, but he will survive. Lenny's actually managed to get quite far down the ramp. This has been somewhat abandoned by the CT side. This is going to give a good opportunity for the Ts to get themselves a bomb plant.
Well, we'll go down here. 5v5 retake for the CT side.
Lenny, good positioning, but he's actually going to lose the battle. It's going to be Esperanto to trade things back and caught. He actually just tried to take the silencer off his USP. That's a big mistake in that moment. Nex are now holding off the rotations. He gets this kill, they win, but that one back can make things interesting. Rafa again, I think he's just, was it him last time? I think it was YJ who got caught jumping. He got away with it. Now he's left in the clutch, but normally it's the 1v1s that he is the maestro of. Instead, he's got 2 players to find. Hunter going to be behind the door. Here's all the footsteps, and the bomb's ticking way too far gone. A little bit of BM even thrown in there. I think he knows he's already lost the round and will just die on 1 HP. Nothing he can do here.
Esperanto's having a sick game. 16-5.
I think he's been strong in both pistol rounds as well. I'm pretty sure he's got a triple in both pistol.
That is true. Went for a 1.11 rating in the first map, and the second one is only going to be better.
1.11.
Yes, very nice number.
Beautiful. He's hit a few ones as well along the way.
Juan Deeks.
Well, W7M can't really blame them for forcing in this scenario. Quite far down. We'll probably go for the full buy if they don't manage to get
that's
this.
dangerous.
YJ completely caught out. This is 2 rounds in a row that they've just completely given up ramp, and because of it, that's going to be a plant onto the B side again. I almost think they should save.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. In this sense, like, I get what he's trying to do, the guy playing back up towards ramp. Like, they have so little utility, so they just try and wait for the smoke and hold it as long as possible. But in that situation, when they just rush ramp, you have to put it down. He's caught with his pants down with the smoke in his hand, and he's just dead in that scenario. Or he has to rotate away if he's lucky.
The other thing as well is I feel like with the weaponry that they had, they needed one of the players close.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the scenario. Either you just have them on the corner, and then you have that player waiting for the smoke, or you have one boosted up. I think that's the best sort of scenario you can have. The fact is, though, well, they wanted to save. They have the same idea as us. Like I said, they're probably going to save next round and then go for a full buy, so having something into this round is useful. The fact is, though, well, actually, I was going to say maybe there's a chance to steal a weapon away, but
yeah,
not the case.
And that's fine for Valiance to throw one gun away. They still survive with 3 players, 3 weapons brought into the next round, so that's completely justifiable to take one away from the CTs, who will only bring a UMP 45 into this round, and the rest are going to be on pistols.
Yeah, a couple of nades brought up. I imagine that would be thrown outside. Yeah, Zeus as well.
I know what I want to see now. Let's see Rilson. Can you bring this one home?
No.
No, they're going to go outside, so he's going to have no chance.
I think they did actually throw one of the nades, at least in that direction, because Esperanto's taken a bit of damage along the way. But yeah, they've had just complete control so far over on towards B. They're actually going to go wrapping in towards Tank.
Oh.
But even with his crosshair completely on the angle, Esperanto will send it to the sky. Reels in now. That Zeus doesn't become so valuable anymore. He wants to try and get into another angle where he can just sit close.
He can go into the vent and hold that corner on the staircase, but yeah, he's not quick enough down there. Gonna hear him drop if he goes fast. YJ though, in the dark corner, Rilson taken out by Hunter, who comes flying up the vent. And yeah, just one player remaining. It's gonna be Rafa.
Yeah, left just to try and do a bit of damage. Again, this has been one of the big problems so far, that even when they started winning a few rounds in a row, I don't think Valiance had an eco pretty much all the way through. They were just able to continuously buy because they had so much money.
They lost 4 rounds in a row, and because they had 16k, they could buy in every single one, and then the loss bonus kicked in.
Then the big boy loss bonus. But that was the weird scenario with both teams, almost on max loss. I think they won the one just before that happened. Here we go, 13-5. We get that buy now in for W7M, but this is where they need to make their stand.
This is almost last stop. Like, if they don't get off now, then they're gonna go off the rails. Esperanto has been perfect in these last couple of rounds, securing many frags and openings here coming in. Pank going down. Otto also, and 2 flash assists from Letney. 2 kills even.
Yeah,
flash assists.
No, it was his teammates doing the work.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not normally the case. You just expect it to be the other way around.
Yeah, exactly.
Otto will be taken down, but it's really not worth much. 1 HP for Reels in. There's no way he's fighting this.
This looks impossible. I would really like for something to happen that could bring the Brazilians back into this game and make it a close one, but I have to be real here and say I have not seen anything apart from that 4-round streak where everything just fell through for Valiance because they made a lot of individual mistakes as well. W7M has not shown a lot here on Nuke.
Well, I think that's pretty much been the story of Valiance's tournament. It's not that they're like the teams that they've been playing are better than them. It's that they've not played. Well, I almost want to say properly.
Yeah,
I think that's the word to use.
We didn't see the Sharks game, of course, but so we can't really say anything from that. From all the other games we've seen, I completely agree.
Yeah, so they've made like some silly mistakes. They've been fairly over-aggressive in a lot of the plays they've made. Obviously, the other games we've seen have both been against W7M, so it's a bit of a like misread there. But yeah, the other game was played off stream. I would still bet that they didn't play to the level they can.
I agree on that one. YJ on the ramp. Once again, like, they stack 2 players here, but they're not very aggressive They don't really have the utility behind it. Have YJ with 1 smoke remaining with 1:30 to go, and that goes there. Now Ramp is... Esperanza even bypasses the smoke. Well, YJ will get 1 instant trade though, because they had 3 men behind him. Backup position will be mollowed out, so they now have complete ramp control. But what they're going to do is they're going to go back. Pank though. Dials back to older times. Swings the deagle.
Yeah, they're in with a shot with this one. They've actually got both of their weapons still standing, or I suppose one of them's now been picked up onto Pank. Hunter's still going to turn things back into a 3 versus 3. They don't have the advantage, but they still have a chance. Next is going to be looking to get the bomb down. There isn't a kit in play, even with the saved weaponry from the previous round. Ooh. Now, in this scenario, they have to go for something. Like, you're going to have a buy in the next round anyway. Saving extra weaponry really doesn't have that much value.
It's so hard, Tom. They sit in a post-line position and have 2 Molotovs still to their disposal. You can just Molotov the vent, Molotov Feven, hold the other angles. Rafa even going for the wall bang. Actually getting something done, but not really getting a kill there. Nexa a bit rattled.
That's the thing, though. It's obviously nice to get a little bit of damage, but ultimately all he's done is tell Nexa where he is. So Nexa's now going to go hunting for those extra kills.
Yeah, they don't care with this money. Like, Esperanto's the only one who needs that cash. The rest are fine to rebuy, and they're going to be around 15.
Yeah, 15 to 5. This really is it for W7M Gaming. Obviously, the team to qualify for this event, they weren't one of the sort of late invites. We saw Ints added in to replace Luminosity. We saw the same with
Redemption.
How could I forget Redemption? As they replaced AGO due to some illness problems for Groobies. Obviously, get well soon for him. But now we see W7M looking to join those 2 teams in elimination. United has gone as well. The group of death has claimed its victims.
True.
Now we see whether or not W7M can just survive that bit longer, try and take us through to another map, try and keep themselves within this tournament, upset Valiance in an incredible fashion it would have to be, as they need 10 rounds in a row. Rafa will at least kick things off, though. He's found Hunter.
And the bait angle now is perfect for the player in Garage, but Otto Endy will take out Rafa. Pank picks up the 1, but he's not ready for Letney at all. And YJ, though, happily coming in with the help there, but it's still a 2v3, very doable. But Riot's his position here. This is perfect. This is perfect. At least 1 free frag. No, he's letting him in cross. Riot's, what is this?
He's got to be careful, because if he's even spotted for a second, he's actually going to get traded out, but luckily YJ was there to help. They're going to get themselves another round, a 6th onto the board, as the Brazilians will at least get that little bit more time to celebrate a round, to cheer for their team. Still, though, the T's are not in any trouble. You mentioned it before. So much cash already in the bank for them. Yeah,
and it doesn't even matter if they lose this round. They can still rebuy. It's fine.
Yeah, just looking at this scoreboard is actually quite scary. Like, every single player on the board for Valiance is positive at this point. Otto right near the top, only Hunter above him. YJ actually looking to take a little bit of a leaf out of his opponents, but with the deep smoke. T's looking for that outer control again. You can see Otto just waiting to spot anybody around that angle. They're setting up their smokes on towards outside as well, as they look to take that control once again. By the looks of things, there's already a man waiting in the form of Pank. He's around that area. Has support as well. The nade already going to go down. Should, well, actually, I was going to say should do some damage to Hunter, but it does absolutely nothing. He's going to be allowed to sneak through. Actually, Pank was towards Garage, so he's going to have free roam of that under position.
Oh, nice from YJ, though. Picks up Esperanto. As Hunter is forced to go back from Secret. Push comes inside. His Riot, with only 1, had the possibility of lining them up and knocking them down, but Molotov goes up towards Heaven. They cleared the bomb site. Hunter can now play this lurk role. Oh, but Otto goes down, and that's the bomb gone down as well. Hunter goes down to Pank, and next will have to clutch this one. 1v2 now. Was 1v3.
Next are in a good position, but no, Pank is going to be there to finish him off. He started to rise a little bit up the board from a man, I think it was like 0 and like 12 or something at one point. He definitely wasn't having the best start, but slowly dragging things back. And so are the CT side. Again, there'll be a buy. It looks like Esperanto has either already been dropped a gun, or he's going to have to just be playing. Oh, he's actually going to go Tech 9.
Oh, wow.
I'm surprised. I thought it'd be a dig.
Yeah.
I was almost 100% sure it'd be a dig, especially considering he actually has $200 left.
But now they're probably just going to rush.
Run and gun. Letney's going to be the one leading the charge. He's been good at getting these openers so far, but not this time. And actually, Riots again, they haven't checked for his angle. This is the same play he's made twice. So we'll be able to get one Esperanto with the Tech 9. We'll be able to wreck one head. There's weapons to be had. He's yet to actually walk over one, probably just hoping there's something to be found. Hunter, in the meantime, is actually going to go heading into B, and now Esperanto just becomes a bit of the bait.
Stands in the same position where he would plant the bomb. Adding more confusion. Looks like the CTs, they have found out it's a B plant.
But he's in such a good spot. He can actually look to flank the flankers. He wants to try and come in from behind. He's retrieved an SG as well. Rafa, smart play. Waiting for him from behind. Now it's left all onto Hunter. The star of the show from this Valiance roster, and he's not going to be able to hit the shots onto YJ. It's another round on the board. W7M start to string them together. Lost bonus building, of course, as the T's again could kind of scrape a by. In fact, this Brento actually has more than last round.
Yeah. They could definitely go for another quick push towards the inside. I think there's a lot to fix with that push. That didn't look very, very clinical. A lot of CTs were able to have 5-6 seconds before they were challenged when other players were running in. So definitely stuff to fix. And they're going to buy, again, one SG and then AKs all around. Lacking a bit of utility, but that's how it is when you kind of try to scrape a buy together. But it's not going to be inside this time around. It's going to be the smoke wall outside. Pank is going to sit at the back of Garage, not being able to do anything, and it's going to allow free access for Valiance to Secret.
Yeah, Rafa's going to be the only one who tries to find something alongside Riots just spraying through the smoke. He has rotated in, ready and waiting for any sort of push. Hunter, the one to lead the charge. Still sat right near the top of the board. Rafa's there on the crosses. A nice little crossfire actually coming in from the CT side. They know what's going on. Molotov will force him back though. He's going to throw out one of his own, but wrecked is Reels. Now, Rafa going to be the only real defender. The rotation will start to come in, but Hunter, you can see the temptation. He could go back up the ladder. He could try and cut off rotations. Rafa needs to hit the shot, and he does. Drops the bomb. Esperanto goes down. Flashbang won't really achieve too much other than slow them from closing on his position. 2 players now down towards the B bomb site. So this is definitely a chance for hold. Otto ND will take out Pank, so 4v3 scenario. And they're actually going to double back. They're looking to head in towards this A site, and there isn't much defense. It's a 1-for-1 split. Rafa trying to make his way back up. I think YJ may have actually, yeah, he's down below as well. So, in fact, the one defender is actually gone from this site. Valiance are going to get to play this after plant position. And while they've struggled to get in with 3 players, they've struggled to get in with 4. It's now 2 versus 4 for W7M to survive in this tournament. Otto's well plays. That's a horrible spot. Not expecting him to be that close. And Rafa, he needs to pull out a play that we haven't seen from him all map. He has not had a good performance. This is just not a possible scenario. And you can see he's hoping that someone gives him something. He's hoping that maybe Valiance go for this over-aggression, maybe try and knife him. It's not going to happen. It will be Valiance getting themselves into the semifinals. It's pretty much the match we expected. Yeah. But the fact is, they're going to have to face Avantgarde. So getting them a little bit earlier is probably not what they wanted in this tournament. Obviously, they could have had a chance to maybe face off against someone like Furia, which Sharks will have to do. But either way, if you want to win the tournament, you've got to beat everybody anyway. Commiserations to W7M Gaming, of course, coming in from Brazil. Didn't make it to the playoffs, but still showed that at least like these Brazilian teams we don't know a lot about, they can show something at least. They can bring like 8-7 rounds into these games against Valiance and the likes of them, but not enough to win the game here today. But we have a desk filled with great analysts to break this down and explain to you how it all happened.
Wow.
Appreciate it.
Great analyst. Wow, look at that. He was really giving us a compliment that, or he just wasn't sure what other adjective to use. I'm not really sure which one. I'm going to go with the compliment.
Yeah, I think so. He's a nice guy.
For sure.
So, I mean, at least we all got it right. We did get the prediction right. Unfortunately for the Brazilian fans, obviously, you know, W7M does end up going home, does end up, you know, packing their suitcases a little bit early. But at the same point in time, this is the Valiance we expected to see previously in the tournament.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we did see some of the players who had been having a little bit of a struggle individually step up today, particularly Otto and Esperanto were back up to the level you wanted, and you still got the same performances you expect out of Hunter and Nexa all at the same time. So when you're an underdog team fighting against that much skill all at once, it's going to be an uphill battle for sure.
And this is the kind of progression we wanted to see, right, from a team like Valiance who has the highest ranking in this tournament is the progression. It's getting better and better. And this is a series that I definitely needed to see from Valiance to have confidence further on in the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, we talked to them in an interview yesterday, and they felt very confident coming into this tournament, and then they kind of dropped the ball a little bit in their upper match that should have been the easy ticket into the playoffs. They still make it through with what looked to be an easy BO3, and they didn't really seem to break too much of a sweat, and we do have some highlights from the game as well. You can see Nexa is the one that's starting things off, and that was one of the players as well that really shined, was obviously Nexa.
Yeah, I mean, he is the rock of this team. He is one of the most consistent performers out there, Hunter being kind of the other one for this team, whereas the X factor, I feel like, is Esperanto. Like, when he pops off, he makes everything easier. And so, yeah, this is a clinical best of 3 here, more of what we expect from Valiance. I mean, we wanted to see them in the playoffs, and we thought that's what was going to be the case. It was just a little bit of a harder path to get there than previously anticipated, with Sharks going in the first seed instead, which means, again, they have to meet Avangard in the semifinals, and we get an all-Brazilian semi and a guaranteed Brazilian team in the grand finals. That's quite nice.
And I feel like Hunter, that name, the alias, it's so fitting for him. I mean, his MP5 on Inferno, that 4K that he got, it happened all in a matter of 2 seconds. Just one clip, 4 kills. The headshot percentage needed to execute that, it's really impressive.
I mean, just look at the stats and the numbers as well. The numbers don't lie. Nexa had a fantastic performance, 97 ADR across the series. It really wasn't really anything that I think W7M was really doing wrong. I just think they were outclassed.
They definitely were. You could see it on that ramp portion of the map, specifically on Nuke. Nexa and Auto, their synergy on that ramp side with Auto so mobile with the op, it was really tough for W7M to get anything done.
Do we feel like, you know, W7M may have made some mistakes that maybe they could have taken a map off of the likes of Valiance?
I don't think they...
No, I don't think so. I actually thought that they played pretty well, even in some of the rounds that we did see, you know, Valiance winning to close out Inferno in particular. I mean, Nuke was kind of a landslide. There wasn't really a whole lot there. But on Inferno, I actually felt like they did some things right. They still just kind of got caught in a couple of timings, some things that you can't always anticipate. And in general, I thought they played some good Counter-Strikes. Definitely look forward to seeing what they do in the future.
I mean, to point out 2 specifically really good rounds for W7M's side on Nuke on that T side, they did manage to get 5 rounds, and that was 2 back-to-back rounds on the back of YJ. He had some really clever movement once again, and he was able to clutch 2 rounds back-to-back, and I thought maybe that would give them a little bit of a push to show us some competitive sides on that T side, but it wasn't to be.
Well, we do have Letney standing by for an interview. Congratulations on the win. Yesterday, you guys felt very confident coming into this event, but do you feel like maybe that confidence got the best of you in that upper match later on in the day?
Thank you for congratulations. I think we just have a bad day yesterday, but this win means a lot for us, for our confidence to boost a little bit, and I think we're gonna play better in future of tournament.
Was there anything that you guys discussed as a team back at the hotel last night to prepare yourselves? Because today you guys look like a very solid team.
Yeah, we had talk like to fix some minor mistakes we did. Like yesterday, we did a lot of mistakes, and we just talk about it today, and we chill at the pool, and we didn't stress a lot because we knew if we play our game, we're gonna win.
So, I mean, obviously, we know the leadership of this team is a little bit shaky because Hunter's kind of doing it out of necessity, so I imagine there's a lot of pitching in from kind of everyone on the team, and especially your coach, Emmy. What's the dynamic been like on trying to kind of make sure that everyone's on the same page?
Yeah, it can be hard sometimes, especially for Hunter, because he didn't get used to it, but everyone in team is listening to him, so we just put him on that role. And Amy is doing like amazing job. He's always preparing the games good and matches, and we always know what to do like in literally every second. Maybe when it comes to mid call, then it's a problem because we play without TGL.
So you have a tough semifinal coming up tomorrow, right? I mean, it's kind of yourself and Avangard, who are both kind of ranked 15th and 16th in HLTV, and obviously both of these teams, yourself included, come in with pretty high expectations of having a good chance to take home the trophy. What do you think is going to be key tomorrow in your matchup against Avangard to, you know, make your way to the grand final?
Well, I think if we just play our game and we don't make a lot of mistakes, we have nothing to fear about. But if we have shaky start again, it's gonna be a tough game.
All right, well, congratulations again. We'll let you go so you guys can prepare for tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
So a little bit of a different interview from the one that we got yesterday, you know, a little bit more willing to be like, yeah, you know, we made some mistakes yesterday. We weren't necessarily the team we needed to be to pick up the wins that we needed. And now as a result, they do have a bit of a harder best of 3 in the playoffs, or potentially an easier one, because now they're playing against an opponent they're very familiar with, as opposed to playing against an opponent they might not know so well.
Definitely, but you know, wins like this series is exactly the types of wins that Valiance needs. I mean, this unit, they don't have much experience under their belt. They just have their sheer firepower. And so having them win so handedly in this series is definitely going to be such a confidence booster for them. They're going to be able to have confidence in each other, in their game plan, and in turn, it's just going to strengthen their foundation and create some consistency.
Now, Dust, you have some fancy pants toys over there that you get to play with for this one. You've got some Telestrator stuff lined up for us?
Indeed we do. We didn't get to do it last game, so I'm going to hit you up with a bonus. We're going to do 2 at the same time. So first off, you want to see, here's some good stuff from W7M. We were talking about how they did some things right. They just got a little bit unlucky. So they did a great job, you know, blocking off Banana. There's nothing going on there. Good incendiaries. They also used an incendiary at middle to make sure that there was nothing that could be punished for. They did have a triple stack at B early. They made sure that mid couldn't be punished in the process. This is all great work from the side of W7M. The problem is, though, is that as soon as that incendiary at middle is going to go down, Valiance has a good feeling that they're going to catch Pank rotating into Archway. So they do a really good job with their own utility to isolate Moto with the smoke, so that means he's going to get no assistance from that side. Good flashes. They chase Pank back. They catch him trying to switch into a new gun, and then they just kind of start putting pressure onto Archway and getting into CT spawn, and eventually you're going to see Letney here as he pushes into CT spawn. He's going to catch Real inside the library, and at this point they're going to be able to do a pincher move on the B bomb site, and they still have Nexa sitting over here in the apartments. This is really important because Nexa was playing apartments really well. The theme of Valiance throughout these couple of rounds, which were key rounds to win, is they're playing simple Counter-Strike, they're being efficient, and they're leveraging their mana advantage appropriately, all while Nexa's doing a great job leveraging the edges of the map to kind of be that insurance policy. And so what he does here is, even after Rafa gets that kill at bottom Banana, and it could be worrisome, Nexa does just enough to keep YJ in place over on this A bomb site. Even though he does eventually die, he killed so much clock in these awkward exchanges to where YJ can never feel comfortable to come support Rafa on retaking the B bomb site, and so therefore Valiance is basically going to win the round off of that alone. That's going to take us to the last round of the first half, where you see a lot of similar things happening here. Another thing you need to note is that W7M kept being aggressive inside the apartments time and time again. Nexa is aware of this, and again, he plays the edge of the map so well. He stacks a Molotov and an HE grenade into Rafa. He has no way to escape. That's a free kill. There's a good exchange on Banana that's a little bit favorable towards W7M, but because Nexa got that kill in apartments, it's still a mana advantage for Valiant. So again, it's going to be all about leveraging the mana advantage on the Valiant side. They keep chipping away at B, but again, Nexa over in the apartments, you're seeing him right here. He's oh so important because what he's going to do is really help open up this B bomb site. YJ is already rotating over to B, so you think, all right, they might be able to defend this B attack well, but then Nexa gets that kill. Now they have to respect the A side. And I like what Nexa does here. He doesn't just leave now to go support his team. He's going to eventually sit over here and throw a smoke over at Moto, and that means YJ still has to worry about there being a lane attack. He still can't move, and now it's all on Riot, who has a good angle, I will admit that, but once he goes down, it's all over. So basically, Valiance just did a really great job leveraging their mana advantages, using Nexa to cut off rotations, and were really efficient in their trading, and those were the key rounds they needed to win Inferno and help win in the series.
Wow. Look at you.
That was nice.
Just like info after info after info. Thank you, Dust, very much for your Telestrator segments. It's got to be fun to play.
Thank you very much, DreamHack, for letting me use Telestrator.
Yeah, I'm sure
so much fun.
That was like a dream for you. Like,
oh, yeah.
Like, oh, yay. Like,
when
finally.
I walked in this morning and I saw this big screen sitting on the desk, I just knew.
You just knew it was your time. Weatherman Dust is now going to be
and it'll be Weatherwoman Christine tomorrow, so it'll be great. We'll get to use it and
I don't get to
give
play.
you guys some more stuff. Yeah,
I have a phone. I don't get to play with anything fun. Maybe
you downgraded. It was an iPad yesterday.
It was an iPad yesterday. I've gotten a demotion. Unfortunately, I've lost my promotion. I only had the promotion for about 24 hours. We are going to take a look at the top 5 plays from the day, and there's going to be a theme to these top 5 plays as well. It's all Furia, not necessarily them in the highlights. The first one is going to be against Int, and it's going to be Able J. We recognize this play all too well. It was his push onto Ivy that got the kills. This was later on in the series when really Furia had built up all the confidence.
Just an example of their suffocating defense on Train. They were really good at being aggressive over towards Ivy and shutting that down, as well as pushing into T. Kind of just really didn't give their opponents any space in that game, and they dominated that series, comfortably moving on to the semifinals.
And here we have a clip of KNG. Ints here had such a slow start, but after KNG's pistol here, I thought it would ignite them. Ints is such a momentum-based team, and these were some nice shots, but unfortunately that wasn't to be.
Another one of Furia here. This is E United versus Furia on Nuke, and it's going to be Vinny. It's a 4K with the pistol.
And
Yes.
Vinny, we haven't been speaking about Vinny that much in this tournament, but he's had so many impact kills and impact rounds, and he's actually such a clutch player, and he was definitely a huge piece of why they played so well today.
This
Also-
1v1 was so awkward too with Marky,
Oh,
where he couldn't
yeah.
open the door. That was rough. Number 2 is going to be E United and Furia again, and it's going to be Able J this time with a nice little spray down towards CT that really helps solidify things.
Yeah, I mean, he had 2 rounds like this, essentially, that seemed like unwinnable rounds, but he found a way to have an individual effort to do it. And then here's Vanity. Although E United don't go home, and commiserations to them, they were impressive throughout this tournament. Definitely didn't feel like they should have been the last place
That
team
is just
here.
so sick.
And yeah, Vanity just huge shots all tournament long from
Got
them.
your nose. I mean, that was just an absolutely dirty flick from Vanity with the SG of all things. Unfortunately, obviously, it's more of a commiserations. Like they didn't win. They couldn't pick up the W. We thought they might be able to. We thought that yesterday as well, but they just kind of fall short.
They got raw deal on teams they had to play against, to be fair. Like, I think in a different situation, they very easily could have been a semifinalist here. And I think that there was still a lot to look to that was impressive.
Yeah, I don't think that we can really look at them and say, like, oh, they really messed up or they really screwed up. They had hard opponents, but at the same point in time, they should be familiar with how some of those opponents play. They play Furia, so they know what to expect from a team like that. We can go ahead and take a look at the playoff bracket just to see how things going to shape up tomorrow. As you can see at the top, it's going to be Sharks and Furia, so we are guaranteed a Brazilian team in the finals, which is great, and if I'm being honest, my ticket is already punched for who that's going to be.
Yeah, dude, this is going to be some spicy semifinals. You got an all-Brazilian brawl to open things up, and then Avangard versus Valiance, teams who have been going neck and neck online against each other between the Dallas qualifiers and ECS Season 7. They've traded best of 3s against one another, and that's all within the last month. So when they're that scrappy against each other, you know it's going to be a banger on LAN.
Oh, it's definitely going to be. And I can't wait for the crowd tomorrow, especially with that storyline you mentioned. Sharks kind of throwing some shade Furia's way, and I can't even imagine how.
That's one thing we got to mention is, so you
Yeah.
mentioned it earlier, was that Sharks in an interview said that they feel like Furia is overrated and that they can beat them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily shade as much as they're just confident that they can still beat Fury, even if Fury is doing really well, and they feel like they're underrated. They feel like people don't give them enough credit, and they think that they are going to be able to kind of pull one over on Fury. So, you know what? I don't mind the confidence, but when you put it out publicly like that, then that is going to start stirring up some stuff. And so I'm sure Fury has probably seen that interview, and that's probably going to maybe fuel them up a little bit too. So I don't think it's necessarily shade or bad blood. I'm sure they all respect one another great, but that does add that fuel to the competition a little bit.
For sure.
Well, we're going to have to wait until tomorrow because we are done for today. Want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, of course, Corsair, Monster Energy, Esports Management, and also GGBet for helping us keep the lights on and make all this possible. And thank you out there as well for watching. We'll be back tomorrow as DreamHack Rio 2019 reaches the playoff stage. You won't want to miss it.